Coming up next, Mark takes on some concrete.
Izzy shows us his 5 favorite table saw tools, and our favorite furry finds a crazy new hammer.
This is your Power Tool Week in Review.
This episode is brought to you by Ohio Power Tool. Pro tools, pro service, all at the best prices at ohiopowertool.com.
And Skill Saw, true to the trade since 1924. Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah. It is June 5th, 2020, and today we're going to do the Power Tool news and share some tool videos you won't want to miss. Let's get to it.
Both Rigid and Cobalt have been pushing further into pro territory with their Octane and XTR series respectively. Are they getting the job done? Clint and Kenny set out to find out. For their Thursday Throwdown this week, the PTR crew pit the Cobalt XTR 24-volt hammer drill up against the Rigid Octane 18-volt version. Chucking each one up with a spade, auger, self-feed, and concrete bits, the drills both showed up to the fight with the power and capability we've grown to expect. The guys found little to hate about either tool, but they couldn't recommend every tool they used that day.
You know, I can't say that either one of these is a bad tool. In fact, the only thing here that I would not recommend you buy is that stupid stopwatch.
To find out which tool won, visit Pro Tool Reviews on YouTube.
Mr. Thomas found another excuse to get his Milwaukee 9-inch saw out, this time to test a savage new diamond cutting blade called the Rock Crusher Supreme. So Mark set out to try a new blade in his Milwaukee saw to compare it to the stock blade Milwaukee gives you. He tests both in a selection of masonry materials, and in the end he says,
so I've done several cuts with this already, so I can definitely say the Rock Crusher Supreme passed my test, so I would recommend it to you.
So, I'm not sure if that means it beats the Milwaukee or not. I think so. You can judge for yourself at Mark Thomas Builder on YouTube.
That was my nickname in high school, by the way.
What was your nickname?
Rock Crusher Supreme.
Okay, I thought it was more something like, never stops talking.
There was some of that too. Speaking of cool kids in high school, I'm assuming, Izzy Swan took a moment from making wooden wonders to share his top 5 table saw tools. Now, a few of these I've never seen before. Most impressive to me was the miter set. It's a plate and pegs you can permanently attach to a table, and it helps you to precisely set up your miter gauge to exact angles or even preset angles for making specific numbered segments. It's kind of genius. There are a few other predictable items on the list, including a mag square and an upgraded blade, but they're all worth a look. For the full rundown, head over to Izzy Swan on YouTube.
On our last stop at YouTube, we find an unusual new hammer. Where else? The Den of Tools. Now, we've seen this new jack of all hammers popping up all over Instagram this week, but the bear gives us our first detailed look at how exactly this hammer also works as a square and a ruler. It's all thanks to the combination of the laser engraving on the handle and the clever flat shoulder and claw that turns this thing into a square and straight edge. I have never seen anything like this.
You know what's weird? Like just yesterday, Ohio Power Tool said they have one of these for us to try out.
No kidding.
Yeah, so we'll give it a shot.
Well, for now, you can find the review at the Den of Tools on YouTube.
Let's quickly move on to industry news from the Construction Junkie. The pandemic is still crapping on all of our fun, but on the job site, workers gotta work. To help maintain new rules, a company called Triax has released a new product called Trace Tags. The small electronic devices are mounted to your hard hat and alerts users whenever they're less than 6 feet away from others. And it tracks your contacts on the job site. Besides a daily reminder to keep your distance while mindlessly hammering on concrete walls like these two, it can also trace all previous contacts if a confirmed case of COVID-19 arises. You can find more at triaxtech.com. It's going to be Father's Day again. The Construction Junkie put together a list of tools that any dad would love, mainly because it's a list of tools. You know, like any tools. That's a hint. Wink.
Did you just say wink?
It includes a few fun but affordable ideas like a table saw dust bag, some ratchet tie downs, and of course, a real dad wouldn't be caught dead in anything but Keen boots.
Wait, what are you wearing?
Totally inappropriate question, Sarah, but Keens. For these stories and the rest of your industry news, head over to constructionjunkie.com.
Heading over to Instagram, Thibaut of French MTL Carpentry shared a beautiful old DeWalt radial arm saw and asked, what is the most vintage tool you own?
I am not a vintage tool, and you don't own me.
Okay, boss.
It's no secret the tool pig loves his tools, but it's rare we see him get so smitten with one specific one. This week he showed off his new Sawmaster tile saw that apparently cuts tile, a minimum requirement, but also seems to do it without losing a single drop of water, which is great news when you're working indoors.
Joe, the Canadian carpenter, was playing with the Milwaukee trim router, who he was thrilled with the lack of measuring. As he puts it, you just plunge, pull, and trace. Why don't we work outside?
We can, I guess. Do you want to shoot outside next week?
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what, guys. You want to see us shoot this show outside? Let us know in the comments. Our last stop is from the curators of wooden artistry at Popular Woodworking, who shared a photo and plans for the simple T sideboard that's so beautiful and calming. I just stared at it until I forgot about the nightmare we've all been living in this year.
Okay, well, while Rob slips into serenity, I wanted to tell you guys about the Bosch Father's Day sale going on over at Ohio Power Tool. Currently, you can save $20 off of select $100 Bosch orders. So if you or your dad has been eyeing something from Bosch, now's a good time to buy.
That's going to do it for us this week, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to remind you that tomorrow you can catch a new episode of Make or Break. And of course, Sarah's Top 5 DIY comes out twice a week.
Thank you, Skillsaw and Ohio Power Tool, for sponsoring this episode. Guys, we couldn't do it without you.
Yep, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
We'll see you then.